אחים גם יחד, הנה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, מה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, שבת אחים גם יחד.
How wonderful it is for all of us to be back together as we continue our celebrations. We were together for Rosh Hashanah, and now we come back together this morning. Everyone should have a machzor that they can look at or share with a grown-up next to them. We'll begin on page 32. We're starting from the side that has color on the front cover. And we're on page 32. On Rosh Hashanah, we began the circle of Teshuvah. We started to turn ourselves back to becoming our best. Now Yom Kippur is here. Adonai, our God, we ask you to be with us as we finish our circle of Teshuvah, to help us to become as good as we can be. We want to come close to you by following your Torah and by listening to the goodness in our hearts. V'taher libenu la'avdecha be'emet. And on the top of page 33, the beautiful song that we are about to hear is hundreds of years old. We call the song Kol Nidre. Jews all over the world listen to the chanting of Kol Nidre on the eve of Yom Kippur. Kol Nidre means all our promises. We ask God to forgive us for all the promises we might make this year, but may not be able to keep. We now are going to listen to Kol Nidre. We'll turn now to page 34. Yom Kippur is a special day. It is like a mirror. We look into it by praying and by thinking about our lives. We see ourselves when we remember how we were last year. We see what we would like to be when we pray to do better in the new year. We look into our Yom Kippur mirror today and we see that we are strong. On Yom Kippur, we see that we are strong enough to heal hurts in ourselves and in other people.
We see that when we hurt others,
we also hurt ourselves. We hurt ourselves and others when we say unkind words.
We hurt ourselves and others when we do not share.
We hurt ourselves and others when we do not listen to our parents and our teachers. We pray to be people who hear ourselves and others. We praise you, Adonai, for showing us the love and goodness in our hearts. Please rise.
Please be seated. On page 39, we continue with the special High Holy Day melody for Mi Chamocha. We rise for the Tefillah, page 40.
Adonai, Sefatai Tifach Uchi Agi Tehilatecha. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך חוזר מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא הארץ כבודו.
Please be seated. We're on page 42, Birkat Shalom, our blessing for shalom, for wholeness and peace.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה, הן בחסד ברחמים ברחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך, ברכנו אבינו כולנו כאחד, באור פניך, כי באור פניך נתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, הן בחסד ברחמים ברחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך.
At the foot of page 42, we begin to heal ourselves on Yom Kippur when we remember and say out loud things we are sorry we have done. We say we are sorry together because not one of us is perfect. Everyone does wrong, sometimes on purpose, sometimes without thinking. When we do not do what the Torah commands, we call the wrong a chet. We speak of our chet and say to God, Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, for the wrong we did, we are sorry. On page 43 together, Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, for saying mean words, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, for hitting instead of using words when we feel hurt, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, for not sharing what is ours, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, for not listening to parents and teachers, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, for not telling the truth, we are sorry. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, for doing wrong even though we knew the right thing to do, we are sorry. For all the wrongs, the ones we said out loud, and those we know in our hearts, forgive us, God, help us to do better. page 44. Adonai, our God, we have begun to heal ourselves by saying we are sorry. Help us not to do the same wrongs again. When people tell us they are sorry for hurting us, may we forgive them. Forgive us and care for us, God. Even as you pardon us, may we forgive ourselves, our family, and our friends. Oseh Shalom, page 44.
Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom. Ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
And now I'm pleased to call up our ECE teachers and staff, in particular Andy Uden, Alyssa Bregman, Andrea Leonard, and Sarah Surface, Debbie Katz. And we're on page 45 for Al Shlosha Dvarim. Page 45. Please rise.
That was good. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim. Shelosha Devarim,
Page 46. Avinu Malkeinu, you bring goodness to our world. Avinu Malkeinu, you are all around us. Avinu, love us as our mothers and fathers love us. Avinu, your love is always with us. Malkeinu, guide us as a wise leader would. Malkeinu, you lead us to live by the Torah. Avinu Malkeinu, bless us with a good year. Avinu Malkeinu, give us health, keep us free, bring the world to peace. Avinu Malkeinu, show us kindness because we are your children. Be fair and loving and help us.
Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Vaneinu, Yen Banu Masim, Asei Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Asei Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, V'hoshienu, Avinu Malkeinu. Adonai iti unerame shemo yachdav.
be seated.
Please be seated, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Now, who are you?
I don't know. Does anyone have any guesses here?
I don't recognize
hear
this
you.
lady.
That's right, Snow White. If you know my name, my guess is that you probably know my whole story. You know my story, my wicked stepmother, the queen, those lovely 7 dwarves, that delicious-looking apple that probably wasn't so good for me. I probably should have just waited for my apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah. Oh, that long schluff, that long sleep that I took. And of course, true love's kiss from my Prince Charming that woke me up. But I was asked to come here today to Temple Bat Yam to ask you if you know the real story of why the queen, my wicked stepmother, got so upset, so angry with me in the first place. Well, I'm going to tell you a part of the story that you may not already know. Now, do you remember that the queen had something that she loved more than anything else or anyone else in the world? Do you remember what the queen had? What did she look into every day? It was a magic mirror that she had. It was kind of like this one. Every day, the queen would stare at herself in the mirror, and she would say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" That's right. And every day, her magic mirror would answer the exact same thing to her. "My queen, you are the fairest in all the land." Until one day, while I was living in the cottage of the little dwarves, I noticed that they also had a beautiful mirror on their wall. And as part of trying to be a good helper to my hosts, I was cleaning up after them a lot. And I thought that I would just spritz off their mirror a little bit and get their little dwarf handprints off of it. Little schmutzy. But when I went to go clean their mirror, I realized that I couldn't even see myself in it. Instead, when I looked into their mirror, I could see outside their cottage, to the trees all around. I could see outside their cottage to all the little sweet creatures of the forest and to all the other dwarves and villagers walking by. Now, since I had grown up in the castle, I had never seen such a mirror. And so I asked the dwarves, "What kind of magic mirror do you have on your wall?" Well, each one of the dwarves got so excited. They wanted to explain it to me themselves. Let's see. Do you remember what the dwarves' names were? Anyone? What were there? Was a lot of them. I can't hear you. Who knows? Grumpy? Sleepy? Come back in a few hours. It's going to be a fruit. Hungry? No. Sneezy? Angry? No, angry. Lazy? Doc, right? There's also dopey, bashful. That's where we get them all. Grumpy, happy, sleepy, bashful. But guess what? You guys are good. You guys know this story. But guess what? It was actually a little known dwarf who ended up explaining about their magic mirror. It was the 8th dwarf. You know what his name was? Menchie. Menchie, which means super nice. Menchie came forward and said, well, Snow White, let me tell you about our special magic mirror. Our mirror lets us see outside of our cottage to everyone else in the village. It lets us see if the trees are growing or if they need water or if we need to plant some more seeds. Our magic mirror lets us see how the animals of the forest are doing, to see if they're injured or hurt so we can take them to the animal doctor. Our magic mirror lets us see the other dwarves, the other villagers around us, to see if they're hungry so we can feed them, to see if maybe they're lonely so we can give them a hug. And as I was sitting there listening to Menchie, I was amazed at how magical their mirror was. And I said, you know what, friends? I really wish that everyone in our kingdom could have such magic in their mirror. And then sweet Menchie dwarf laughed at me. And he said, Snow White, they do. We all have these kinds of magical mirrors because, Snow White, our mirror is actually a window. And then he explained to me, it's really strange. A window and a mirror are actually made of the same thing. They're both made of glass. But a mirror has a silver lining on the back. And so when we look into the mirror, our self comes back. That's all we can see is ourself. You can't see through it. But when you look through the glass of a window, this kind of magical mirror, you can see through to the world all around you. You can see all that is good in the world, and you can see all the work that we need to do to help make the world a better place. And so now you know what happened, because back in the castle at this very point in time, the wicked queen looked back into her magical mirror and she said those words that you guys know. She said, mirror, mirror, who's the fairest? But this time, the mirror answered back, famed is thy beauty, majesty. But hold, a lovely maid I see. Rags cannot hide her gentle grace. Alas, she is more fair than thee. But then the mirror continued to talk in some more normal, less fancy language. And the mirror said, yes, Snow White is truly the fairest in all the land. For she does not look at mirrors just to pay attention to herself. She looks through the most magical mirror in the world, a window, to pay attention to everyone else all around her. Snow White is the fairest. Snow White is the caringest. and she is the sharingest. Well, as you can guess, the wicked queen at that point was not all that happy. In fact, she was quite grumpy, and she wasn't at all bashful about her feelings. And so she came after me. You know what? We don't really need to go to that. Let's skip to the happy ending. After I woke up from my long schluff, my long sleep, it was declared that everyone in the kingdom would have their mirrors turned into windows so that they could all see each other and look out into the world to see who they could help. And so Rabbi Gersh invited me here on Yom Kippur today to remind you of the lesson, the Yom Kippur lesson of my story. That today we need to remember, each one of us, to open up our eyes to the people all around us, our family, our friends, our community. And we need to see them. We need to see how good they are. And we need to see when they need our help, when they need a hug, when they need a kind word. And when we do that, when we open up our hearts and are truly the fairest in the land, then we will all live happily ever after. Good Yontif.
Wow, how special was it to have Snow White here on Yom Kippur? Let's say thank you to Snow White. And let's rise for the Aleinu.
51.
We're on page 51. Please be seated.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Patty Seaburn, and I'm president of Temple Bat Yam, and I want to welcome you all to our Yom Kippur family morning service. I just want to thank our rabbis and our cantor and our choir for making this day really special. I want to tell you all about a few people who are on the bima with me here tonight, very special people. First, we have Laura Gramling, and she is the head of our preschool. How many of you guys know Laura? Yeah. Laura, would you stand up? Thank you. Laura came to us from Temple Bethel in South Orange County. She's a native Californian. She has been our ECE director for 2 years, and we're going to keep her. Laura has been married for 22 years to her husband, Kevin, and they have 3 daughters, Bridget, Rachel, and Megan. Laura is also very involved with the National Charity League, and we are very happy to have Laura here with us today. Next, we have somebody who helps Laura out very much, Lori Nada. Lori, would you stand up? Thank you. Lori's been a member for 27 years, and she's worked here as the preschool administrative assistant since her son went to preschool here 24 years ago. Her son Garrett just moved to D.C., where he got married last year, where Lori says she's going to retire, but we're not going to let her. She has worked for the religious school for 11 years and is currently on the Social Action Committee, which she says is the best committee because it helps people. Finally, we have my friend Allison Nightingale. Yay, Allison. Yay. That's what I'm hearing. Allison is our TBY Board of Trustee representing the preschool. She is the mom of Nathan, age 7, a graduate of TBY Preschool, and Ben, age 4. Allison found her home at TBY when she and her husband Charlie moved from New York 7 years ago and didn't know anybody here in Orange County. She's an attorney at General Atlantic. Allison earned a BA from the University of California, Berkeley, and a JD from Duke University Law School. So we're all going to grow up and be Allison. Thank you, Allison, for being here. Thank you, Lori and Laura, for all your hard work. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'm very happy to see you all out here, and I look forward to seeing and getting to know you in the years to come. Good Yontif.
Thank you to our president. And we're about to conclude our service with the singing of Lashana Tovah. But before we finish, we have some special instructions because we have another service to follow. People are going to be coming in through that way. So who knows which is their left hand? Put up your left hand. Left hand. Okay, that's the direction you're going to be exiting in. And if you know where the preschool is, that's where you're going to go to, through the preschool, where we have an oneg, a delicious, imaginary oneg. And you can all schmooze and catch up in the preschool before heading out back to your cars or back to the service, whatever the case may be. So please rise as we join together in Lashana Tovah. Chatima Tova and Shana Tova.
Gemar Chatima Tova, Shana Tova.
And join us for Ne'ilah tonight as we finish Yom Kippur with the Tekiah Gedolah. Tonight, Ne'ilah.